Andrew Tate. He's the guy on the internet's mind, from Europe to Africa to Asia to the Taliban. Everyone knows the name and the game. And countless videos are focusing on every twist and turn in the arrest. But no one is focusing on the important point. With his arrest, the only black guys in Romania are now in prison. I'm joking, of course. Everyone already knew Romania was racist. The real, most important fact of the trial is it hasn't started. He's on custody, not charged with any crime yet. The prosecutors and defenders of the Tate Kingdom are on the internet, not the courtroom. So to me, the most interesting aspect of the arrest isn't the arrest, but how we react to it, and what this story shows about what sells in the internet age. I'll illustrate this through a chronological approach to the trial. So around December, Tate is arrested on sex trafficking charges, and information begins to spill out about his use of the Loverboy method. This method is a form of trafficking whereby a pimp convinces girls to get into a relationship under the false pretense of love with the express purpose of using them for sex. Once under a spell, coercion including threats and overt violence are used to ensure she doesn't leave. How do people react? Well, the left immediately latches onto evidence from previous videos to apply a guilty verdict. From the streamers to the YouTubers to the press, there's an overt offensive against his character as a representative of the misogynistic aspects of the manosphere. Many say, obviously, come on, Tate did it because he's a self-admitted bad guy misogynist who's talked about pimping techniques and scamming. And how does the right respond? By defensively backing Tate with conspiracies about the Matrix closing in on him for trying to promote traditional values of masculinity. Come on, really? What does that mean? Some speculated about the role of foreign embassy involvement, or intricacies about, should he have been held in custody for that long? What's happening? Others were even more idiotic. However, what do we know at this point? Not much. Tate virtually confessed to using typical Loverboy techniques and had a concerning obsession with control, a pattern of targeting younger non-industry girls that was obviously suspect. However, there was little evidence to jump from. He told girls he loved them to convince them to come for him, and he was threatening and coercing them. We get he's shady, but shady is not illegal. Likewise, no one on the right could provide a concrete idea of what this matrix actually was and in whose interests is it aligned, but nonetheless committed wholeheartedly to the idea of a setup, despite statements from Tate that implied at the very least unscrupulous business tactics. Like, come on, is pimping and Hustlers University the work of a scammer or a serious businessman? He even admitted to running a line of casinos for the mafia. This polarization only worsened as WhatsApp messages leaked, old videos surfaced, evidence from a dropped R-word case re-emerged, and custody was extended.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I fucking loved how much you hated it. Turned me on. Why am I like that? Why? I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get fucked by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather fuck? You didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to. That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this fucking planet. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't fucking pass out. Chill the fuck out. Jesus Christ, I thought you were cool. What's wrong with you?
The right responded to these revelations with conspiracies. The typical stuff. Did the Matrix use AI to generate the confessional voice message? Is Tate a scammer or a shrewd businessman? Is the Romanian government being directed by the Matrix to pressure Tate in prison? All these questions were posed as though the director of them was not obviously trying to construct a narrative that he was the victim. But the same happened on the other side. The left uncritically interpreted the evidence in the worst possible way. Takes included, the voice messages must be confessional, and the fact that the case was not pursued feeds into the British police's well-known mistreatment of sexual violence victims. This was despite the fact that many of the alleged victims' actions could be interpreted in the opposite direction. For example, it could be true that she didn't report the R-word initially and continued to have consensual sex with him for months because she didn't want to feel like a victim. That's perfectly feasible and in line with previous precedent. Or she could be lying. Without further investigation, we don't know, and we can't come to a conclusion before then. Not to mention the fact that his over-the-top language could align with his previously outed fetish for beating up women with a consentful. So to conclude, we are all idiots. The internet at heart says this. No one knows what's going on.